Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Running a little low on sleep, so I don't quite remember. What is today? Tuesday? Wednesday? It is Wednesday. So, yesterday I had to leave the office early, and shout out to Frank, who's been an incredible friend through all this. But I won't bore you guys with everything, but my dad is obviously battling dementia. It's extremely taxing on all of us in the family, and him most of all, of course. But every now and then I'll get a kind of call from my mama when things are getting kind of really, really tough. He's in a rehab center right now. He'd fallen down last week and busted his head, which is the last thing you want to do. And Frank's been so supportive, and anytime I need to, I just go right up to him and spend time with him. And Frank never questions it or gives me a hard time. And yesterday, at like 1 o'clock, I had rushed out of the office and I went up to the hospital and I spent the day with him. And the two things that cheered him up the most were showing him videos of Frank ranting in the street, to which my father, who has a British accent, said, "Matthew, what do the pedestrians think?" Which was a fantastic question that I couldn't quite answer, other than they're mostly terrified. And then the other one was toward the end of the night, Frank sent a video to me just encouraging my dad and telling him he was praying for him and to fight the good fight. And absolutely nothing silly, just pure loving, supportive message. And that really touched my dad. It meant a lot to him. So shout out Frank. He went above and beyond yesterday as a friend. And you guys sometimes give him a little bit too much shit and assume he treats me and Mikey so badly. Secret truth is he's really one of my best friends in the whole world. He's like my brother. And just like any brother, he can be a total pain in my ass. But when the chips are down, he does have my back. And he does care. And you want to know a little secret about old Frankie boy? I don't think I've ever seen anything get him more upset than when I'm upset. When he sees me upset, forget the Mets. Frank gets fucking upset. He shuts down everything and focuses on me. I think maybe at the end of the workout, when we have some more viewers, I'll even play his little video. It's only like 20 seconds. But I think Frank has become addicted to the feeling of knowing he can make other people happy. Whether it's how we're visiting firefighters on our walks or taking first responders to games, there's a light in him that's growing, much like a darkness would grow in a villain during a movie. I think we're seeing a real life protagonist rise from the ashes of a really tough childhood. And anyways, what made me think of that whole diatribe was when we were doing physical and occupational therapy with him yesterday. One of the things he struggles with is his posture, standing, walking. He's improving since he fell down, but it's tough. You got to like kind of relearn it when you have dementia. And the first thing the nurse told him to practice every day were cat cows. And I told her how I do my live streams, and I open up almost every single one with cat cows. But my dad didn't exercise his whole life. He was a work freak and was an academic freak, very British. And now in older age, obviously the dementia doesn't help, but the bad posture for years and years, slouched over a desk, reading. It's really hurting him now. And that's where these workouts, forget about doing the 2 hours. If you have any life, you're not going to do 2 hours. I don't have a life. I don't have a family. I got my parents and my brother, but got no girl, no kids, nothing. So 2 hours in the morning is easy. For people with all kinds of responsibilities beyond, parents, if you only have 20 minutes, I get it. If you only have 15 minutes, I get it. But what you need to get is that doing 15 minutes, whether it's just stretching, whether it's just a little jog, whether it's a minor stretch and a little self-body work, or maybe some band work, so you don't have to go to the gym. Anything is better than nothing. What you don't want is to end up being old and kind of crumpled over with your back. I really feel that's one of the most important things that you should remind yourself that you're getting out of this when you're exercising, when you don't feel like it. I think I just did 100 crunches there casually. Is that one day this is all going to pay off in 10x, 20x. You're going to feel good now. You're going to look good while you're still younger. Honestly, this is going to pay off the most when we all get old. And the body starts deciding how it wants to shut us down, shut down ops. If you've taken care of your body, you give it the least amount of options. Give yourself the most amount of time. And not just time, quality time. And I have to say, I was very proud of my dad yesterday. He did a very good job in rehab. It's very easy to get demoralized in there. And it's very humbling, to say the least, for a guy that used to give speeches in front of the countries of the world. And he's in there doing them. And even when he's confused or doesn't exactly know what's going on, he still cracks little jokes. And he's still trying to make a little light out of moments where he can. And I'll tell you, when there's nothing left but to fall, how you fall matters a great deal. If you're going to fight a fight that you know you're going to lose, there's such a difference between throwing in the towel and walking to your corner and making that motherfucker earn it. You fucking beat the shit out of that thing as far as you can take it. Give it its biggest run for its money. And laugh in its fucking face while you do it. That's the closest you can come to winning. Really trying to maximize the time you have. I'm telling you guys, you don't value it until it becomes finite. You don't realize you're in the good old days until you realize 10 years have gone by and you look back. And that whole time you were stressing about what you wanted, what you needed, what you didn't have. You forgot to appreciate the most important stuff you do have. And that's a big mistake in life. Don't do that. Don't wait. Call your parents today. Call your siblings today. Call the old friend that you guys stopped being friends because of some stupid ass fight. Get over it. Get the fuck over yourself. Be the bigger person. You won't regret it. Making peace is something you're really never going to regret. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I guess I do run an army. It's called Tanks Army. But we're all about that peace and love. All right, good little stretch there. We've done some crazy warm-ups the last few days, / full-blown workouts before even doing cardio. So today we're going to keep it a little bit on the more reasonable side. Sip of body armor, do some standing stretches, air squats, and then get into our run. Now, most drinks, I'll like to switch up flavors and stuff. And with body armor, there's a bunch of flavors I like. But for some reason, this Tropical Punch Flash IV, it's the spinach to my inner Popeye. I just fucking love it. Oh, you got to stretch first, jackass. All right. Shaking out our arms. This is my favorite way to loosen up the biceps, the triceps, the shoulders, the traps. Just taking a deep breath and letting them loose. Now let's take a second deep breath. Grab our opposite elbows. Come up slowly. This was something I had my dad doing yesterday. He's pretending someone's touching you between your, calling it the chicken wings, your shoulder blades, and then pinching them up toward that. This is going to work on your posture. So for you beginners that might be looking at some of my exercises and saying, all right, that's a little bit too much, bro. You need to chill. This is a really good movement right here. Just peacocking your chest out, putting those arms back, and then kind of flexing your tits together. Peacock, flex. Peacock, flex. What we're really doing is stretching that back out, and we're trying to work on our posture. We're trying to get that lower back right. And that's a key thing for all of us. That's not just an expert level thing. It's not just a beginner or intermediate level thing. If the back is not taken care of, you can't really do anything else. Similar to the neck, the only difference is we're not training like Mike Tyson. We're not going to do 200 neck ups and look like the juggernaut. I mean, you can do that, but I don't want to strain my neck. To me, the back and the neck are two of the most prohibitive things to strain. Especially for me, the neck. I never realized once you use it till you hurt it. All right, let's touch our toes. Right hand down, left hand down, right hand up. Right leg stays straight. Switch it up. Thank you, Dave K. Appreciate you, brother. Always in here, always supportive. I mean, you guys are incredible. I still don't quite think I'm like, I don't know what the word is, but I don't think I'm enough of a legit human to say I've got, quote, fans. But I would say I've got an incredible support group of community. Because you guys that are responsible, I talk to you, we DM. I don't even know how many of you I've talked to about your health, and I don't put together intricate fitness plans because I got my YouTube page, but I do give little bits of advice and stuff. And it's been the most rewarding experience of my life. Between this and Frank Walks, imagine having a job where people reach out to you and thank you for having a positive effect. I mean, it's the coolest fucking thing in the world, man. And let's be clear, I love exercising, so I'm really lucky that something I love can do good for other people. You know, it's not like I'm dragging myself through shards of glass every day, because when we go by these firehouses and I meet these firemen, they're totally normal dudes, except for one fucking thing. They're actual heroes. We watch all these fucking movies. We idolize all these actors and actresses and athletes. And they're great. They make great art. It's great. It's great. It's great. But why do we idolize them when we've got guys right down the block who answer the phone when the building's on fire and they run into the fire? They don't know who's in the building. The person might disagree on every single thing about the world and how it works. Might be a total asshole. Doesn't matter. They go in to save lives. That's what they do. That's what they do. And I just do not think they get nearly the respect. I think everybody loves to, give the one-liners, and they probably mean them. But there's a big difference between words and actions. So wherever you live, I encourage you to stop by your local firehouse, meet the guys, thank the guys. God forbid, bring them a fucking a pie for the holidays. You can always DM me if you're a firefighter going to a firehouse, police precinct, whatever it is, and we'll send you a video. We'll do whatever we can to encourage those guys. Between you guys losing weight and the firefighters we've met, I've never been more inspired in my life. Thank you, Redeemable Life. It is tough, the parenting. I'm a little older than a lot of stoolies, being 36. I mean, I'm an older stoolie, being a stoolie myself. But, my granddad had dementia. I think a lot of us have probably seen it with our grandparents now that it's so prevalent since corporate America poisoned everything in our system. With that said, dealing with something with your grandparents like that and dealing with your parents, it's apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges. I appreciate that, Redeemable, but we should all be humble, man. If you're not humble, you're delusional. We're all just molecules crashing into each other on a rock floating in the middle of a huge space that is not even fractionally understood. We don't even understand how much we don't understand. That's probably the only thing we kind of understand, if that makes any sense, if you're following. Yet we all think we're so important. Everything's so dramatic. Just do nice shit. Don't be an asshole. The only thing we know for sure is that we're balls of energy and we do feel things. So as long as you know that, those two things, use your energy to make people feel good things. It's not hero ball. It's just logic, man. You want to feel good? Do something good. Don't wait for something good to happen to you. You create the good comes all around you. It is the way it is. It's so true. Frank used to just fester in negativity. And now I just swarm him in positivity. And he can't even help it. He can't deal with it. He's the happiest motherfucker's ever been. He had a couple of his best rants yesterday. They both ended by me basically falling over in laughter and then him consequently really chuckling pretty hard. When he did that fucking Mets rant with the octopus dance, do you know how hard it is to film that and not laugh, people? I deserve a fucking, if anything, you want to make humility, I deserve some sort of a Lifetime Achievement Oscar Emmy combo award for solely sound effects. And I'll be the first one to ever win it for the omission of sound effects. Filming Frank Fleming for 3 years and capturing, 80 or 90% of his best crazy rants, because I'm with him 80 or 90% of the time, and never blowing the shot by laughing. And then the other mistake I made early in my career, and Frank quickly fixed, was cutting short. When Frank is ranting, he often takes a 2 to 3 second beat to hallucinate his next monologue, and a rookie will stop recording. When you learn the funny flow, you keep recording until he basically looks at you like he's going to kill you, and then you clip it. But again, the funny thing was, yesterday, if you just looked at my Twitter, you might think it was like a really stressful day. There was 2 rants in the street, and then 1 rant with Roan. We walked for like 3 hours. We laughed for 2 hours and 50 minutes. For 10 minutes, he got out his venom. The rants are real, but my point is, they're passing. Whereas in the old days, they fester. And then with Roan, that was just Roan being the legend he is. Just came in and had a couple of great one-liners, got Frankie going. Another guy that's just a great human behind the scenes, where the last 2 things, and he's just talk about humility, maybe one of the most talented people I've ever met, but he talks to everybody the same. It's a big measurement of character to me. Every production person at Barstool, janitorial staff, to Portnoy, Roan's going to look you in the eye, he's going to show you respect, he's going to treat you like a person, and give you the benefit of the doubt to start. And if you fuck it up, it's on you, but he looks for the good in people, which is something that isn't done enough. And the last 2 things he's filmed in the office, the marathon stream and then something yesterday, both days I had to rush up to the hospital and felt really bad, especially yesterday because it was the last second. And Roan, just being Roan, looks at me and he's like, dude, of course, go do what you gotta do. It seems obvious, but it makes a big difference, man. Somebody could just kind of grunt and be dismissive or not give a shit. But when people are struggling, the smallest acts of kindness can have such an effect on them. And you don't know unless you try. Try being fucking nice to people. You might be shocked by the result. Got to apologize. I'm a little bit mushy today, a little emotional today, but we're still getting a good workout. Plank. Yes, yeah. Upward facing dog. Yeah, my mom texted me last night. You want to talk about the best text you can get in the world? And she said, thank you so much for coming last second. The world to save the day, fix the day. They're having a very bad day. I just came in like a ball of positivity. And then the last text was, and Dad absolutely loved Frank's video. Now, the other funny thing is my parents told him no, I fought in Rough and Rowdy, so might be time to tell him soon. It's been like 3 years. I think they'll forgive me. All right, let's run. I kind of want to just see the look on my dad's face, you know, because he's obviously sitting in this fucking rehab. Beautiful, great job, great staff, but he's like watching the paint dry. He's getting so bored in there. So if I sit him down and I pull up Rough and Rowdy, he's going to be shocked. My parents know I got that dog in me. They've seen me get in people's faces, but knocking a guy out's a little, in an arena, a little different. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the Frank video. Maybe after we run and we're stretching again. Because I forgot. I think the first thing he says is, "Hey, Mr. Jenks, Frank here. I think you've heard a lot about me." I think that's how he opens it. That shit fucking cracked me up. They also met, which I know Frank knows. He probably just forgot in the moment. Years ago at the MoMA Museum. And it was actually before my dad had been diagnosed. My family was a little bit slow in getting the diagnosis. That's one of the things for anyone out there dealing with, dementia, signs of Alzheimer's, that sort of thing. It's not as easy as you might think to just go get tested, because you're getting tested for a disease that there isn't really there's treatments, but there isn't a known cure for. So it's like, you're going to ask for a diagnosis for a trip to fucking hell. But you got to do it because there are treatments and you want to try to get ahead of it and slow it down. And Frank came to the MoMA with me and we left, and I asked him what he thought, and with absolutely no hesitation, he said, "Oh yeah, he's got it. You guys need to get help. This is crazy." And that's what I needed. I needed somebody to tell me something unfiltered. So he's been with me since the beginning on this thing, in silence and secret. I just want him to get the credit he deserves as a friend. All right, let's roll. Get some positive Momo going today. Let's get a positive day today, boys. We're gonna have some tough ones ahead. We're gonna make the most out of the ones that don't throw crazy variables in our face. And even those, we're gonna just swap them bitches. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Literally and figuratively. There was one physical therapist, just a great staff there. There's one physical therapist who is absolutely beautiful. I think she's around my age. And my mom said was doing an incredible job with my dad. And when I watched her, she was. So I told my mom, "You always tell me you want grandkids so badly. I like her. Tell her whatever you want, see what you can get done." So I've at least given my mom something to work on when she's in there all day, like the super wife, superhero she is. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be hard to scoop me up because you're matching up against Nancy Jenks, the greatest wife to ever live. It's one of the reasons I'm probably single. Watching my mom just be such a fucking dominant human for so long. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm very proud of her. She's going through it. That's why, like yesterday, when she texted me in distress, Frank sees it wash over me. And he knows I gotta go. I gotta get there. I need to get my hands around this. I gotta get my love around this. My buddy Troy calls the Michael Corleone moment that comes in life when you need to stand up. I've said that to Frank before. Now again, all the shit you guys see, all the bullshit I've put up with the important stuff. I have had bosses that act like we're best friends when I'm doing great in sales, but then respond on Slack when I've got a family crisis. I'd much rather have the boss who's yelling as if he's being assaulted about Mets commentators on November 4th, but actually shuts everything down when he can see in my eyes I'm fucked and I gotta get out of there. So why am I loyal to him? Why do I do the job I do with Frank? I love it. I love him. And I love what we're actually doing. And I hope I can make it more profitable, and I can stay at Barstool forever and earn it and become more profitable, not be complacent, not be delusional, understand how business works, understand how margins work, understand how people are the most expensive asset in any company. And the second you become complacent or a net loss, you're just eating through Portnoy's money. I get all of that. So I have urgency. I wake up every day and I fucking go for it. Now the coolest thing isn't getting to hang out with all these people I was fans of for so long. And trust me, that's pretty fucking cool. The coolest thing is getting messages from all you motherfuckers I don't know telling me you started doing something because of Frank, because of the morning live stream. It makes me feel like I have a superpower. It motivates me so much. And in a time of my life when things are very difficult with the family, the love from you guys, it's hard to talk about without getting a little choked up. I don't really bring it up on Barstool channels. Don't want to embarrass myself too badly. But this is my personal account. I can talk pretty freely without fear of fucking up. And I think it's my most natural habitat to be most raw with you guys. It's also only the crazy tanks are these people that are in here. So you guys deserve to hear it first when there's shit really going on behind the scenes. The real shit. Now the other one, needless to say, with that is Mikey Betts, one of my dearest friends in the whole world. Again, this is not the last week. He's been in the hospital in ICU. It's been going on for 3 years. And Mikey's been with me through it all. And Stu, I've said a million times, and I'll say it a million more. The way he took care of his father in the summer of 2023 when I was first getting to know him is my inspiration. When I gotta dig deep and find the positivity, and really dig in there. Even yesterday, I just think of Stu. Picking his dad up out of a wheelchair, launching him up into his big ass car, driving back to the finer estate like Vin Diesel, getting his dad back into the chair, wheeling him out, and then we'd all just circle up and talk shop for hours. Before Frank was walking too, he'd sit there, guzzle soda and eat shit. If Frank tried to do a summer 2023 day, today, he'd get violently sick. Violently sick. wrong way. No. They are great band to run to. The melodies are such a steady rhythmic flow, and then they come up and down in tempo. Those are the types of songs I love to run to. Another one like Rusted Root. They have a couple songs, Send Me On My Way. It's the other one that I love. Put it on now. Actually, the song's still like 40 minutes. Listening to Crazy Game of Poker, right? I'm a real horror fan. Of the Revolution. What was I going to put on? Oh, yeah, Rusted Root. What's that song called? Martyr. No, what's the best? Martyr by Rusted Root. Very fun song. And a great running song. Because it's an absolute pandemonium. With a good beat behind it. Last night it's kind of fun. I need a honey bunny. I said no, you said I said revolution, and you said no. Crazy Game of Poker ended. So Martyrs gonna get us to 2 miles. So just kind of rips right into a little guitar solo, and the other instruments pick in quickly in the drums. And then you're just jamming. 5 seconds in, full-blown jam. Same band that sings Send Me On My Way. Send me up there, before you're sympathetic. Cause it's love through the air. How long should that matter? Man, I woke up feeling a little bit emotionally squashed. Put me a stretch and jog in. I already feel a million times lifted, rejuvenated, emboldened. My fatigue is melting away. My fire, like a ball of flames during Tank's cooks. It's mushrooming. Also, the way Frank's career is 100% going to end is during a street rant when he goes hammer fist and he starts doing this crazy shit. There's going to be an old lady walking by, and he's going to hammer fist her in the top of the head. It's going to be involuntary manslaughter. He's going to try to get me to lie on under oath, which I'll probably do. He'll probably get off. I'll get locked up for perjury. Mikey will somehow get tied into the case and also talk himself into jail. And then it'll be Betson Jenks in jail. He'll teach me how to shank people. I'll teach him how to work out. We'll both come out better men. And meanwhile, we'll get one call a day, and we'll have to call Frank to hear his grievances of things that we're behind on due to our imprisonment, due to his involuntary manslaughter, due to his weight loss and newfound agility. Clip it. After about 6 weeks of yoga and walking and running, wherever you are in your fitness journey doesn't matter. But really for me, if anybody ever wonders timeline, mark on your calendar 6 weeks. And then it's up to you, because you got to do this shit every day. You got to try to eat well, sleep well, hydrate. You got to do all the other stuff too. But if you do, and you stay consistent, in 6 weeks, if jogging the way I am right now would make you totally out of breath and winded, in 6 weeks you're just going to feel like you're on one of those moving escalators. It's going to be such a natural, free, quicker movement. And all the little aches and creaks and cracks that you feel when you try to run and you haven't run in a long time, those all start disappearing. And I ain't no spring chicken. Turning 37 in a few months. Frank's turning 50 next week. So don't do any bullshit on age. It's not an age thing. All right. Let's get a good Maurice spread. Come down down in speed, take a sip of body armor, go to a 15 incline. Quickly check the chat. Happy Wednesday. A lot of, it's not just content or YouTube or anything like that. I think egomania is a disease in America. And the funny thing is all these people that are so obsessed with how other people see them fail to realize that if they spent more time thinking about other people might care more about them. Whereas if you spend your whole fucking time thinking about yourself and promoting yourself, it's not as conducive to fanfare. And that's why nature always works itself out. Jimi Hendrix, unreal. Castles, made of sand. Jimi Hendrix did not follow a systemic music code in terms of verses to melody, chorus. That guy used to just jam his face off. All right, Bob Seger. Come on. I'm on a lonesome highway east of Omaha. You can listen to the engine go, and now there's one more song. And think about tomorrow. Oh, Jesus. Locking, baby. Locking. And there's nothing much to do. And you don't feel much like riding. You just wish the trip was through. Say, here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing the star game. There I go, turn the page. Whew! Hard to hold notes. Well, you walk into a restaurant, strung out from the road. You feel the eyes upon you as you're shaking off the cold. You pretend it doesn't bother you, but you just want to explode. Most times you can't hear them talk, other times you can. All the same old cliches. Is that a woman or a man? Always keep my number. You don't dare make a plan. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing the star again. There I go, turn the page. somewhere in the like you're a million miles away. Every ounce of energy you try to give away. So the sweat pours out your body, the music that you play. Later in the evening, as you lie awake in bed, with the others from the amplifiers ringing in your head, you smoke the day's last cigarette, remembering what you said. Woo! Singing gets the soul up. Got 1 minute left. Here I go, playing the star game. Here I go, turn the page. And here I am, on the road again. I can't hit that note. Up on the sea. 20 seconds. What a perfectly timed song. All right, got our full 10-minute, 15 incline Maurice Britt March post 2 mile run. Let's see anyone on the chat. What's up, Ethan? What's that other one say? 42 years, yeah. I like saying that to Frank, like Phil Leotardo. You're a baby. You're a kid. You're an infant. You're a child. But not in an insulting way, to emphasize his youth. Frank has more energy than most people my age right now. I should say 10x. Body Armor. Shout out Federico. Shout out Johnny. Great team there. Shout out Kobe. Kobe would respect the stream. He'd just say I talk too much. And I'd agree with him. All right. Let's wash this bad boy down. Let's get back to a little yoga work. And we'll do some strength training. Whew, I didn't think I was going to wake up early today. I thought I'd wake up at 6:30 and stream from 7 to 7:45. Anytime I do that, it means I've been through the blender and I'm exhausted. That was the plan today. But my body's so trained for it, I just sat up like the Undertaker at 5:15 a.m. and got my morning stuff done. Got to the gym. Now here we are at 6:50, which is when I would have started. And instead, I'm already well into my workout and feel good. Good morning, all 723 of you. I love you all. All right, back to cat cows, which is what they're literally encouraging my father to do, who's struggling with his posture in his greater health kind of battle. Point being, this is something that will pay off immediately in the long run and in the bottom of the ninth, if you know what I'm saying. Donkey kicks. With the guns on the shoulders, not knowing what to do with the contradicting orders. The general said he'd do his own duties, but he said it no further. The men could go as they pleased, but not a man moved. Their eyes gazed straight ahead till one by one they sat back, and not a word was said. And the old general was left with his own words echoing in his head. He then prepared to fight. He said, I've seen the... You guys know Dispatch? There's a 36-year-old big Dispatch guy. I used to love going to their concerts. Them and especially OAR. Of a Revolution. If you ever have the opportunity to go to an OAR concert, I highly recommend bringing a small inflatable oar, writing "or" on it, and walking around yelling about how much you like "or." If you want to get a good prank video, because OAR fans can get a little testy about that. Maybe that was 20 years ago, but I used to love doing that. It's easier to do pranks like that when you're best friends with the baddest motherfuckers like I was. That's how I managed to practice my sales game growing up. I had muscle. And no, not on me, next to me. So another common missed opportunity is the right way to phrase this. Very common missed opportunity for people is if they actually do cardio, it doesn't have to be running, it can just be a simple walk, but they will stretch, hopefully at minimum beforehand. But a lot of people think about stretching afterward. Again, I think people associate stretching with it being a time killer, it being a nuisance, it being uncomfortable, not being good at it, so you don't want to do it. The truth is, it's the most valuable, it's the best use of your time. And however stunted you are, if you can only get to your knees, just look at the real estate you have to work on. Be excited. You're going to make progress if you want it, if you want to take it. Unless you have some sort of a spinal issue or, some sort of a birth defect of some sort that limits your mobility, you're going to be able to increase your flexibility. Maybe not all the way to the level of a fucking gymnast. Like God knows I don't have that. But I'm pretty flexible, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm a lot more flexible than I used to be. I couldn't touch my toes not that long ago. Probably get to my shins like 5 years ago. Now I'm grabbing the back of my heels talking. All right, we've done 100 crunches. Let's do 100 more. I got Lady Gaga playing. Thank you, Spooky Noodles. Thank you, Aaron, for both quote tweeting the stream. Every single little like, retweet. I see every name that does that. And you guys know, most of you, because I've gotten to know you with DMs. I really appreciate it. I got your back. I would love if this turned into a profitable arm of the company for Portnoy, Big Cat, and the bosses on top of everything we're doing with Frank. And it fits. We're a sports media company. that has had zero interest in fitness. We've got one loser, this guy, who just loves the gym, doesn't really do much else. So I gotta figure out how to get them numbies. And you guys are the way to help. So you got some more people on the stream now. Good morning. Whew. Do some interesting spots while I tell a story. So I mentioned it earlier in the stream. I'll be much quicker this time. But one thing I've had a hard time kind of talking about out loud because it gets me a bit choked up is my father has been battling dementia for the last couple of years. Fell down last week. He's in the ICU. Now he's in a rehab center. And I just want to make a point that Professor Fleming over there, for all the shit he gets for being a little bit wacko over the Mets and the Devils and the Dolphins, and if he doesn't like the color of the sky, when things really matter, he's got my back. And with my family stuff, even if we had a walk scheduled or we have anything we got to do, he has been so supportive and such a great friend. And it's made my life a lot less stressful than it would be if he wasn't. And yesterday, I had to leave the office early and felt bad for Roan and Vibbs and those guys that had planned something they were filming. But I went and visited my dad at the rehab center, and it was obviously a long, tough day. And then I got this video, which was the highlight of my dad's day.
Hey, Bruce, this is Frank. You've heard a lot about me. I'm always complaining about the Mets. Right now, Arsenal, not giving me much to complain about in the EPL, trying to get this soccer, But keep fighting, a good fight, and get well. You gotta get on the road to recovery, and I'm thinking about you and praying for you.
So that's the Frank you guys don't normally see. But that's who Frank is. And I know it's a 20-second video, but it's the little things that fucking matter in life, man. And knowing he's got my back helps me so much. So shout out to Frank. My mom was so happy when that video came through. Dad was so happy. And no, I did not have to pay for the cameo. Reverse crunch. You saw me maybe post this yesterday. Should start really trying to do these every day. But one leg really straight off the ground. Knee to elbow. Slowly switch. This is really tough because you have to have full body control. And by going slowly, you gain no momentum. So you can't ride the momentum like when we're doing our 100 crunches at a time. Instead, each movement is like a power flex, ice pick into the abs. But you're deliberate, you have full control, full agency over all of your body. God damn, does it shred those abs. Okay. I'm back on all fours. Let me just raise this a little bit. Yeah, Frank is the best. Florida Nightmare, you're also the best. I don't know, Florida Neighbor, if you know how to clip. If you want to clip that, feel free. I don't like really posting the stuff about the family, but I feel like this is my place to speak openly. And it's more with Frank's weight loss, what I've noticed is what's so special is not, like the side-by-side picture of Frank yesterday, great. What's special is that we get all these messages of other people that it's affected. So in a weird way, for all this time, I felt guilty not talking about my dad having dementia, because I know it's Alzheimer's, dementia, Lewy body, the works, as they say in the Penguin. I know millions of Americans are dealing with the same thing. And millions of Americans are leaving work early to rush to a facility or a hospital or home, whatever the case is, to take care of someone they love, and do it with no one looking, and do it because it's what the right thing to do is, and do it from a place of just pure love. It's hard. So don't feel alone. That's why I want to be a little bit more open with you guys about it without being a baby or a drama queen or feeling sorry for myself. I just don't want anyone out there to feel alone, because it can get a real lonely feeling. And I'm lucky I got a great mother and brother and cousins and aunt and uncle and a set of friends I've had since preschool that literally die for me. And then I got guys like Frank and Mikey and Stu. There's a lot of people out there that have nobody. I don't know how they do it. Other side. I really thought it was Tuesday until I checked before we started running. That's when I know I'm low on sleep. Frank's actually noticed it, because the last week or so has been very taxing on me. I keep forgetting what day of the week it is. And then obviously Frank has flamentia. My dad has dementia. And I'm losing my cognitive ability to remember days of the week. So maybe I'm developing a hybrid. You're allowed to crack jokes when your family's dealing with this shit. FYI, it's the only way to deal with it. Good twist. All right. Do a little light bench press just because it's set up perfectly. I know it's not the best reason, but pragmatism counts for efficiency. And we're only going to do 135. Any able-bodied man can bench press 135. That's obvious. Shut up, Tate! Just kidding, Tate. Just kidding, brother. He's always been very nice to me. I like Tate. Always been nice to me. Okay. It's pretty incredible what he's done with Barstool After Dark. For your mind, some of you blue-collar workers know, with my buddies work at Metro North, they'll do these overtime shifts. And God knows Tate ain't getting overtime for it, but when you have a night a week on a loop where you're staying up like all night, that kind of fucks your system up. I don't know how well I would do that. Wednesday morning streams would be lit. All right, let's get a little bench in. No leg kicks. We're going to keep our feet on the ground. We're just going to focus on having a nice solid form and full control of the weight and feeling that burn in the boobs. So here we go. Just a nice clean rep. A lot of people love trying to max out all the time or impress absolutely no one cares, but impress everybody with heavy weight. Meanwhile, controlling the weight, doing slow repetitions is how you're going to build the most muscle, build the most endurance, build the most functional strength, and even increase your max. Oh, I missed a part of my take today. That's fucking great news. Nice clean set. Nothing crazy. After dead hang mania, we are going to let our, actually I don't need to move that at all. We are going to let our, shoulders and traps rest a little as we go into some deadlifts. Did I just say deadlifts? See, guys, my brain's fried. I'm running back and forth all day. These are called air squats, dumbass. Doing our air squats. So air squats and bench press, pretty alpha superset. And for anybody that wants to build muscle, get a good workout, but it's that one day where just everything went wrong. The alarm didn't go off, or the kids were up all night, or the dog took a shit in the living room. I don't fucking know. But this is a really efficient way. If you got 10 minutes of cardio, in 6 minutes, you could go back and forth between these air squats. You come right back down. I recommend some seated twists to warm up, and then bench. That's like a great workout. Maybe throw 5 minutes of stretching on before you run, so now we're up to 20 minutes. You can find 20 minutes in a day. And if you don't have a bench press, you're just doing push-ups. But the point being, you get that explosive workout for your upper and lower body without needing a ton of equipment, without needing to go to a fancy gym or pay a $500 a month membership to be surrounded by a bunch of douchebags in expensive gym clothes that really look like fucking underwear. The other thing I realized is I was getting up to 300 pounds benching, but my tits were getting so big. At a certain point, as a man, you don't want gigantic honkers. And that's where lighter weight with proper reps, more slow reps, will develop a more aesthetically pleasing boob. If you don't want to look like primetime Pam Landers. No break. So you go from getting that big pump in the chest and the arms to suddenly throwing your legs right back into the blender. It's confusing for the body. It's confusing for I bet for the heart, which is pumping out blood and oxygen to the muscles that need it most. When you go full body, kind of cross fitness circuits like this, your heart has to get blood everywhere. And that's where, when we talk about cardio, that's short for cardiovascular. A lot of people associate cardio with, I have to jog and it's going to be boring, or I have to elliptical or bike ride. That's all just an illusion. If you move quickly enough between sets, you are by definition getting cardiovascular exercise. Just feel your heart rate when you go from bench to squat, squat to bench. And that'll tell you everything you need to know. You can hear my breath right now. Wasn't out of breath when I was running. I was singing. Now I'm benching lightweight and I'm squatting nothing but my body weight, and I feel it much more. It should encourage you guys. You don't have to be doing heavy weights and crazy shit to go to the gym and get massive results. You just need to do things the right way. You need to do them consistently. That's it. Third and final set. Coming down just above the nipples, so it's really on our chest. can feel my left hand sneaking out as I get more tired. Whew, slow reps burn, baby. And I think we benched yesterday, or the day before, or maybe both. Oops. All right. Don't leave your weights on a bench press, even in an empty gym. What you do echoes in eternity, particularly when it comes to not cleaning up after yourself in the gym. That's the sort of shit that'll keep you out of heaven. Because who do you think's at the pearly gates? All the bodybuilders, all the bouncers that made it into heaven. So if you've no respect for the gym, how the fuck are they gonna let you in? You think about it that way, huh? Okay. Yes, supersets all day, all day, all day. Back to our cat cows. Why, you may ask? We're doing cat cows for a third time because they're that fucking effective. We're loosening up our back. Look at my chest after that bench press. I'm going from an arch to a peacock. My lower back, arch. You know, I don't know which one the arch is. Is this the arch or is this the arch? But we go low, we go valley, we go hill. Such a nice way to loosen up that back and those hips and make sure, again, all systems are to go. We go right back onto our back. I wonder how my traps feel. I'm just kind of have a little bit of an itch to do the dead hang again, but I've been doing so many of them. Work boy, work boy, work boy, work. Work boy, work boy, work boy, work. Work boy, work boy, work boy, work. I lost count, but getting up toward 300. What do we think, chat? Should we do another dead hang today? This will be my third day in a row. This would be my 6th attempt. Yesterday, I set my new record of 141. But I'm definitely sore. But I'm not injured. I'm not hurt. So I could go for it. I'm clearly talking myself into it. But I do feel it in my lats. Maybe what I'll do is start one. And then if it starts to really feel fucked up, this is another great one I should do more. Oh, Florida Nightmare's ready. All right, set it up. Love you, Florida Nightmare. Florida Nightmare times my dead hangs for me. This exercise is really nice too if you're having any shoulders, upper back problems, to stretch them out. So before a dead hang, when I'm really going to be working my upper back, really good way to make sure it feels okay and healthy enough to do so. All right, fuck it. Should we do it, guys? Let's see what we can do here. It's 1 minute and 41 seconds last time. I do need some music. Hopefully I can lose you a minute. But yeah, the traps are banged up. I'd probably be better off doing this tomorrow. But who knows? I could get hit by a bus today, so let's do it today too. All right, I'm gonna go with a crazy song. I'm gonna go with My Girl, Temptations. For now batting, Francisco Lenoir. Let's see if I can get a minute here. The entirety of this song is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I have no idea. But I tried. Oh yeah, Florida Nightmare. Minute and a half, maybe. Back to sit-ups. Do another dead hang. 127. Son of a bitch. I have hit between 126 and 129 5 times and 141 one time. That makes sense, though. I'm very sore today. We're going to get up to 2 minutes like next week. It's such a good workout. My forearms, holy fuck. Really good stuff. And even when you're sore, I feel more in my biceps from the, because, I looked up making sure I was doing it the right way. You are supposed to have your arms extended. So your biceps are really locked in, really engaged. Maybe too much. Maybe I should look into if I could alter the grip at all without obviously breaking any rules. That's so funny, Florida Nightmare. Crazy, yeah, Mr. Consistency. And the thing is, you guys see, I don't even let go. My grip crumbles like when Thor. When I was about to say Xanos, which is Zeus and Thanos combined. Thanos, when he does that thing, it makes people crumble. That's what happens to my grip at the end of that thing. And any exercise that ends with the crumble, with failure, is going to really build muscle because you're pushing yourself to a limit and really past whatever illusion you had as the limit. Because fears, much like limits, are often nothing more than an illusion. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, my hero. Not real hero, basketball hero. My heroes are the firefighters. I fucking love firefighters. Just so fascinated by their selfless grit. All right. Shout out to all the firefighters. Florida Nightmare, can you believe 120? I mean, you must watch this and be like, this motherfucker, 127 again? Because I'm not looking at a clock. If I was looking at a clock, I probably would have gotten another 10 seconds. God damn it, Jenks, you soft motherfucker. All right, hammer curls. This is a 50-pound resistance band. We're going back and forth between hammers and reverse curls, just getting a nice little arm pump, complementing the bench press, complementing the dead hang, complementing the sit-ups, the yoga, the 2-mile run, the uphill walk. A nice, I would say more soft, kind of gentle workout today, where getting a good pump, getting good cardio, getting good endurance work, but not straining ourselves, and feel like we're going to come in really fresh the rest of the week. I was going to say we're not going to do a full 2-hour workout today, but Christ, it's already almost an hour and a half. Yep, the grip strength at 1 to 115 is the turning point. It's also, I just did the bench press. I think if I actually let my arms rest for a whole day, stretch, and then do it, I bet I can break 2 minutes. It's me just talking shit after having a bitch ass set, but that's what I think I can do, and I think I was a bitch. Just taking our time, going through the full variants now, including regulars. By regulars, I mean here, palm reaches the sky, faces the sky on the flex point. Opposed to hammers where they stay parallel. You guys can tell with my curls, maybe you can tell, I don't know, reverse. I'm using the bands a lot more than the dumbbells nowadays, and my arms are growing quickly from it. It's very effective. So I'm at the point now where I don't think of bands as a great alternative. I think of bands as a great strategy, a great primary. All right, coming over to our triceps. Stand close to the tower, keep it vertical. We're going to start going up a little bit in the triceps. And just a little bit complacent, I guess, a little bit comfy. Been really just doing it at 40, 50 pounds, which is still fine with really good form. We're going to bump it up to 60 on our next set. Get some extra pump, blow the arms up a little. And then we're actually going to wrap with this, believe it or not. We're going to keep this workout to just an hour and a half. God, I've got issues. I thought this was a quick workout. I've been talking too much, I guess. Fuck. Get bands. Do these variants. You're going to get such a good arm pump every morning. And just like Arnold said, when you got the palm, it feels like bleep. So all day it's like I'm bleeping. Backstage I bleep. bleep. When I go out on stage, I bleep. When I'm getting ready for the next shoot, I bleep. That's how these bands make you feel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch the movie Pumping Iron today. That's Arnold in his prime. Mr. Olympia Arnold. It's a fascinating story. If you don't know, Arnold was at a Austrian military camp training, and he actually snuck away to compete in a bodybuilder contest. He was like 15. And then his career was born, took off, but he bet on himself. It's 10, just giving you a closer angle, skull crushers. Yeah, even with a slightly heavier weight, easy peasy. Why am I listening to TLC Waterfalls? And it's not like it just came on. I basically listened to the whole song, like Michael Keaton and the other guys. And then we go to Take My Breath Away, and I'm like, oh, perfect. From the original Top Gun. This really is a great song. All right, what lighting makes my arm look most jacked? Let's keep it real. Burn out, burn out. Every turn into some secret place inside. So I'll get some pardon my taking, some wake up bar stooling. By the way, I wonder when Big Cat sleeps, because he's pretty much live on air like the Truman Show. It's pretty much just a continuous show. And then how the fuck does he come up with different things to say or new ways to say the same thing over and over and over again throughout the course of all the shows he's on? I do not think he gets enough credit for that. Like the skill of it, he gets all the love and adoration, all that. I'm not worried about him. But I don't think people respect the art of how he executes quite enough. So he's like a hard worker, but it's also an intelligence thing. This is our last set. All right, Serena Williams, take it easy. That's that extra weight. Woo! Feeling good, feeling strong, feeling a lot better than I did when I woke up. That's why we work out to feel good, not when we feel good or if we feel good. Order of operations are essential in this game. Some might say P1, 80 pounder. This will be our actual last set of the entire day. We're going to step through, but not like an idiot. I'm actually pretty tired now. It's like holding two 40-pound dumbbells, except, in my opinion, a little bit harder. Get that straight vertical movement across our regular curl. Palm faces the sky. Hammer curl. Palms are parallel to one another. My favorite, the reverse curl. Palms are facing the ground. forearms, biceps, shredding. This is what's going to help improve my dead hangs quite a bit. I keep working on these along with the dead hangs themselves. Let's hold it. All right, guys. Have a great hump day. Hump it. Don't let it hump you. I love you all, and I appreciate all the support. Go get it. Have a great day. Love you.